Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hey humans, welcome to Scarlett Show, Season 4, Episode 2. I'm your host, Scarlett Santamaria, providing a space for self-expression for San Diego's electronic music artists. And now will be the perfect time to watch the live stream if you aren't already. Just search for Scarlett Show on Facebook. So last week, I went out on Thursday after the show, and I was working all weekend, so I had to take advantage of my only day off, hashtag adulting. And I was excited to finally check out Chocolate, Afro House and forward-thinking thinking house music at Blonde Bar. It was my first time being exposed to this genre, and I absolutely loved the tribal beats. This music made me feel like I was celebrating something. I was imagining myself in a carnival or in like a family house party and everyone just having a blast. And I was just feeding up people's energies. Like, when you go somewhere and everyone's just like smiling, and you didn't have the techno stink face. It was more just like, yeah, celebration. And that type of music just invites you to get loose and move your hips and shake your body. And you can't really do that with certain genres. I grew up in a Mexican household, so I was exposed to like cumbia and reggaeton from an early age. So it kind of reminded me of those sounds. I was able to throw some of my Latin moves in the dance floor. But overall, it was a fantastic experience. So you should all definitely check it out. The next one coming up, and I'll promote it on my Facebook, of course. And in fact, tonight's guest was playing there last Thursday, and I'm so thrilled to have him here right now. The one and only Oscar P. Welcome to the show. Oh.
Hello.
There you go. Whoa. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm good.
How was your chocolate experience?
I mean, I've been doing we're creeping up on our 2-year anniversary next month, October 17th. That's 2 years of doing that party.
Wow, it's coming up, huh?
Yeah.
So I feel so honored to have you here because
Thanks.
You have a very impressive and extensive history in the music industry. And I like to start from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So Brooklyn was where you discovered yourself through music. I read your bio.
Absolutely.
And you didn't start off as a DJ right away. You were a record collector first and a dancer, making your way, trying to fit in. And I feel that I'm currently in that point in my life where I'm also trying to find my focus. So I'd like to know, what was your first industry job and how were you able to land it?
My first industry job on the low-end tier was flyer boy.
Flyer boy?
Giving out flyers for nightclubs.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like a promoter.
No.
Oh, that's
you're promoting, but you're not throwing the party. Mm-hmm. You get a salary.
Okay.
You go to the office. Everybody had like a little stamp. That was your symbol, so that when the flyers come in, we're talking about like the days of like the Palladium, Limelight,
Paradise Garage.
Red Zone. Paradise Garage was like a little bit before my time.
Okay.
I'm at the tail end of the Paradise Garage. So for me, the era when I started going out, it was like Heartthrobs, the Fun House, the Roxy, Limelight, Palladium, the Tunnel, that era.
That era.
So we would get go to the office, pack our backpacks with flyers, and go grind.
That you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. But back then, an actual flyer, a physical flyer, you would if the party was $25 to get in, the flyer would be like $5 off.
Okay.
So everybody would grab them and hold on to them, and so it was a whole different mindset.
Wow.
And this is every city, not just New York.
Oh, right. And how did you transition into DJing?
Well, I always DJed a little bit. I don't think I started really DJing and playing records till I was like 17, 18. Okay. I was collecting records first. Records from parties that I went out and listened to that I was fascinated by, that and intrigued by, that I was like, wow, this music is awesome. Let me pick that up. And then I was collecting them at first.
All right. And when it comes to working in the music or entertainment industry, I feel like there's this notion that it's not really a sustainable lifestyle due to all the challenges that come with it. For example, keeping up with new trends, long hours, not getting paid enough, getting older, etc. In fact, a lot of my guests that have been there also have like their day jobs and other things they're involved in. So how is it that you've been able to keep committed to the music throughout all these years, despite all the difficulties?
Here's my take on this stuff, right? Anything in life that you put focus, time, and energy into, you're going to get good at. It doesn't matter what the job is. So if you want to be in the music industry and that's what your focus is on and that's what you're pushing, you're going to, eventually you're going to break through. You're going to get better at the gig. You'll get better at producing, better at DJing, better at promoting, better at whatever the focus is. That's why when people say, oh, I don't look at it like that. If you're, you focus a lot of your energy on this radio show and you're good at it and it shows. Someone else that hasn't put in that time is not going to be as further along or have the same opportunities. So, the opportunities open up from longevity, consistency.
Yeah. And it's also like the love for the music, right? It's like a passion.
You better love what you do. If not, why are you there?
Exactly. And a key turning point for you was a trip to Chicago in the 1985, where you were introduced to house music for the very first time. And that was around the time where the genre was born, around that time where it was barely coming up.
It was around for a few years before that. Probably the first vinyl records that came out, as far as like Detroit, was about in the late 80s, and 81, 82, you had Juan Atkins and those guys doing with Model 500 and that stuff. And then later you had, in 83, you had Jesse Saunders. He was one of the first guys in Chicago to press vinyl.
Oh, right.
And one of the guys to put out one of the early house records. But
yeah, to be honest, I was ignorant about the history of house music for a long time, even though I've been a lover of house music ever since I can remember. So what do you think the new generation should know about the history of house, like how it all originated? I feel like so often we forget the roots. I thought that it came from Europe. It's like some white guy made it.
Chicago came from house music came from Chicago.
Exactly.
And techno, as what we know today, came out of Detroit and parts of Europe. But we were influenced by what was going on in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how has the house community evolved throughout the years, and where do you think it's heading?
I think that the music scene is vibrant and fresh. I mean, I get questions like this all the time, and I don't agree with a lot of the aspects of it because, look at a city like San Diego. There's more and more events, more people are taking risks, more people are taking chances, more people are bringing different kinds of artists here. It's a growing scenario. So, I mean, I think as long as people are excited about the music, it can grow as big and move as fast as we want it to. Exactly. People have to put in the work. It's not going to move by itself.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work, and the people that are putting in the work in this city or LA or Chicago or Detroit are the ones moving the scene forward.
Exactly. So what can we expect in the first half of the mix that you have for us?
You know what? I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, so I just went through my archives and I picked something that had some of my own productions and then some flavor of like the kind of stuff I play at Chocolate, for example.
Oh, that's exciting. I think we're ready for the music break, and I hope you all enjoyed. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the second part of the interview, so stay tuned. You're listening to KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of states. Oh yeah, we're getting a taste of Afro House. We don't hear it enough.
I mean, it's new to the market. And it's not like it's not been around forever. House music or dance music, electronic music with percussion on it, whether it's programmed or live, has been around forever.
Forever.
Since the beginning of time.
It's just the beginning. Okay, guys. Before we go on the rest of the interview, I have to make some announcements because, it's radio and we got to give a shout out to our sponsor. So, no plans this weekend. Check out the House of Blues in downtown San Diego for some amazing concerts in one beautiful venue. Make sure to check out our giveaways on kcrlive.com for a chance to win tickets to concerts throughout the semester. And stop by Music at the Mesa from 12 to 1 on Thursdays for more giveaway opportunities. Also, the Desert Days Festival is right around the corner. From October 10 to 13, join greats. I think they had a typo right here. Hey, KCR, join greats like the Flaming Lips, Wu-Tang Clan, Ween, and many more at Moreno Beach. So check out desertdays.org to see full lineup and purchase your ticket today. And lastly, my friends from Techniche are having a contest. The team wants to witness the Techniche experience from your eyes. And all you have to do is hashtag your Techniche event photos with hashtag TechnicheSD and automatically be entered to win one of their official t-shirts and the new snapback hat. And let me tell you, their new t-shirts are really cool. I have one with the astronaut making me feel like I'm part of some cosmical outer stellar techno club. So get it while you can. It's really easy to win. And now we're back with Oscar P. And I would like to know what influences or experiences are you drawing from when you make music?
I'm influenced by a lot of things. I'm influenced by a lot of African music, music from the 80s. I like a lot of techno music, but I'm also influenced by Latin culture. Salsa, merengue. I grew up with some of that in Washington Heights as well. So it's, but hip hop. I'm influenced by everybody.
Everything.
So
It's like a fusion.
if you listen to the kind of records that I make, I consider them fusion records because they're a mixture. Now, over the years, I've kind of refined the sound of what it is a certain way where you hear it. Oh, it sounds like an Oscar P track. But if you really dissect them, it's a little bit from traveling, from going around the world, from growing up in Brooklyn and Washington Heights. From my mother playing, Julio Iglesias.
I grew up with that too.
While she was cleaning the house. So it's a little bit of everything. All this stuff, you absorb it. It's in your DNA. It's part of you. So when you're going to go work on something and get creative, it all comes out.
It all comes out. I agree. And you've been to more than 50 countries in your career. And at all the
pretty much.
at all the places, which one's your favorite to DJ at?
I have a few places. London has always been a spot that I've always liked to go to because of the energy was really on par with
London's nice,
with
for
New
sure.
York and Chicago and Detroit. It had that vibrancy. But there's others. Anywhere where it's warm. These days, California. I like playing in California.
So I'm sorry. Why do you like playing in California then?
It's like the 90s all over again here. Everybody's into everything. Everybody likes everything. And when you have that in the water that we're drinking, it allows for more creative people to enter the pool and do more things and become promoters and become producers and open up record labels. And it's, you need that. You need an open-mindedness in the scene so more people can say, hey, man, I like what this guy's doing. I think I want to try doing that, even if you never thought that you could before.
Yeah, and also have support from people in the industry. That's another big one. Because a lot of people that I've had here complain that there isn't enough collaboration, for example.
There's a lot of collaborations in San Diego. Now, levels of collaboration are going to be dictated by where you're at in the pecking order in the food chain. If you have something going on and you bring something to the table, people are going to want to work with you. If you're just getting started and you want more before you've done enough, you're not going to, nothing moves at the speed of light. Everything takes time.
You got to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, you have to prove a value. I tell people, it's terrible to hear this. What creates a demand for a DJ? It's always been the same. In the beginning, it was music, but even the guys that were playing big clubs in New York back then, if they didn't have a line around the block to come see them, they wouldn't be working.
Of course.
Whether it's David Morales, Tony Humphries, Jelly Bean, if Doc Martin, Mark Farina, if they're great, they're talented, But even back then, when they were getting started and getting through the industry, if they didn't have a line of people that want to see them, they wouldn't be working. So what makes a DJ today is the same thing.
Just have like a
If I'm a promoter and I'm going to invest in a DJ, I want to make my money back. I want good music. I want a good vibe. But I want to make my money back.
Yeah,
if I'm investing,
of course.
So all that's a factor. So there's people in the scene that have been here for a long time, and then there's other bigger companies around the outskirts that are doing festivals and big stuff, and some people don't break into that. It takes time, it takes a lot of work, it takes money, and it takes having a fan base of people following you. If you have a fan base of people that care about you, will pay to see you, and buy your music, that goes a long way in the industry.
You heard it, people. We got all the wisdom right now, right here.
It can't be that we just have talent, because guess what? Everybody in San Diego has talent. I've met cats with way more talent than I have. Way more. What do I have that separates me? It's my work ethic. You can be more, I'm talented, but I've met people that are, they would blow me away as a technical DJ, But my prowess of being able to promote, rally people behind what I do. I'm a people person with a lot of people, so I become friends with a lot of people. All that stuff are factors that make me successful at what I do, because I put time into it.
Of course. And why did you decide to move to San Diego and leave New York life behind?
Better weather. I'm older now. I'm going to be, dare I say it on the air, I'm going to be 51 years old.
Oh my
in December.
God, you're my dad's age.
That's right.
He turned 50 last year. So
me too, in December. Now I'm going to be 51. This last
same.
conversation we had, I was 50. Now I'm going to be 51 in a couple of months.
Yeah,
so,
my dad turns 51 in December.
That's right.
And
him and me are close in birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still DJs, so.
Yeah. So for me it was, I wanted better quality of life. And honestly, from traveling here to DJ in the market and go to San Francisco and Oakland, and I met really great people in the California areas. It's so, like I said, it's like the 90s all over again for me.
Okay.
Because of the open-mindedness of everybody.
It's great for you. And what do you think is the most important lesson that you've learned with all your years of experience in the industry?
Too many to count, but
something that stands out.
I'm a person who tries to work with everyone. Okay. You can try to work with everyone, you can't help everyone. That's a lesson that I've learned, because I'm a Sagittarius. So I want to collaborate. I want to do stuff with different people. I want to get intake. I want to, bring people into what I'm doing, but not everybody's a good fit for everyone. Some things really work out and click, and some things don't. You try it and they don't. So I've had to get more selective while I'm in the market and living here. Now I live here, so it's I want to build relationships with people that I resonate with, that we have the same passions, we like the same kind of music, we're open-minded about other kinds of music, and other DJs to bring into the market when we're promoters. So that's kind of what I look for collaborations.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing all that. Now, if you've been wanting to work with Oscar P, now you have all the information that you need. Oh. And I like to focus on West Coast Weekender. I think this festival is so valuable and necessary for our community, especially because it's run by minorities, mostly minorities. And
very important.
Yeah, and I respect that you...
People of color.
Yeah, I respect that you might make an effort to increase diversity, and even having me there last year, I really appreciate it. So I want to know, what does that shape your vision for creating this experience?
We grew up going to events like Winter Music Conference, Amsterdam Dance ADE.
Oh, I want to go.
So those are the kind of things we grew up going to. So some of those events throughout the years, they would, we were going to Miami for 20 years before it started going in another musical direction to the reason we went there. So, I did parties in Miami for 10 years, and it ran its course because we were going into this whole nother era of EDM and more commercial stuff, and that's great. So we had to find other places to go work and other places to to try out the ideas or to continue building what we were building, and San Diego was a great outlet for that, but it wasn't the first place. I mean, when we all sat around and had meetings, we talked about Bahamas, we talked about going to Jamaica, we looked at a lot of different places, and then one day we were all sitting around, I think at Chris Herrera's restaurant, having
El Comal.
El Comal, having
What a margarita.
tequila shots or whatever we were, and then all of a sudden we were like, why don't we just do it in San Diego?
I mean, you're already here.
Good. We got people here that like music. The weather's really great. We have beaches. We have cool stuff, but and then it kind of clicked and it was an aha moment, like, where everybody's trying to leave. No, let's bring people here. So that was kind of the catalyst of having it in San Diego.
All right. And what is your ultimate goal with this brand?
I mean, I'm a guy who's passionate about music. I try to not say it's about the money, but I'm a grown man. I do this to run a business, to build into something that, one of these days maybe I can retire off of.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, exactly. How is it that you find that balance between like keeping the underground vibe, but also having big names and finding the location and making profit? Because I think a lot of people don't even have the idea of all the hard work behind putting together a festival.
But it's a team effort. Like, I don't work by myself. You've got, Chris, you've got the Deep End guys, you've got my wife, Jessica. We've got other cliques of people that work in different cities all around the country that work with us every year, that bring travelers from different places. So, like our bread and butter is the travel crowd, people that come from other cities that want to be on vacation and want to hear good music. And that's the jumpstart. And then after that, you have the local element of people that are coming to the event.
Yeah, because you want to attract other like newcomers, but also locals.
Yeah,
of course.
pretty much.
So you can grow bigger, and then more people can travel and come for West Coast Weekend.
I'd like this to grow and be 10,000, 20,000 people.
Yeah,
that's what I envision. But that takes work.
It does.
We're about to kick into our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah,
so we're already in pre-production for that.
So exciting. And what are the baseline requirements for next year's West Coast Weekender to be considered a success?
As long as we're profitable, I consider it a success. It's not about, we're not making millions of dollars yet. We're still small. We're a boutique festival. So we're still, establishing ourselves in the market. I mean, there's events that are way bigger than us. I think what separates us is the family atmosphere, that community vibe. A lot of the people that come here and travel here are people that we travel with several times a year. We go to Mexico for Mikasa together. We go to Miami together. We'll go to ADE together. We go to Croatia together for Sunta Beach. So a lot of us have been traveling a lot together. And now there's people from here that are starting to travel. Like, I think last year there was like 50 people from San Diego went to Croatia. So that's great. That whole crew, let's go travel together. So that's kind of the foundation for a lot of this.
No, I definitely agree. Traveling changes you a lot.
Yeah, and traveling with people grows bonds and makes you get closer to those people.
I agree.
So I'm happy that I see people that live here that are starting to go to Mexico City, to Croatia.
We should go to Mexico. Let's do a little trip. I would love to bond with you guys.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give someone that wants to get involved in this industry? I feel like you already said a lot, but like you personally, like your own advice.
Let's repeat some of the stuff we were talking off air on. We meet people that say, hey man, I'm doing this part-time. I'm not getting anywhere. I don't see, is there going to be a future for me? In a nutshell, again, whatever you spend time on, focusing on, is what you get good at. Whether it's a job, so this is no different, man. You have to put time into it and dedication into it.
Oh yeah.
And eventually
100%.
Doors will open up, things will happen. It's just, we're living in an age where people want things overnight.
Yeah. You're right.
And once in a blue moon, you do see some dude that you're like, hey, I didn't even know about this guy last year. And now he's traveling and playing big festivals. No, go look at his resume. This guy was grinding like the rest of us, quietly building his scenario and to get to where he's at. So you have to dedicate yourself. It's hard to do this part time. When I was younger, I had to make a decision. I was about 19 years old. I knew I wanted to be in the music business, but I had to make a decision on, okay, I want to produce music. I'm unknown. Nobody knows who the hell I am. So in order to get there, I need to do other things in the industry that will pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I did marketing. I did events. I did things on the side to generate income so I can live while I spend time in the studio learning and making records and getting better, and not have to worry about making money from that. So you have to set yourself up for success.
Yeah, well, thank you for everything that you've said. I'm learning so much, and I think that just having you here and hearing everything that you're saying, it's so valuable, and it means a lot. Because
thanks for having me. I know I've canceled on you a few times.
but it's okay, and I just thank you so much. Like, really, I'm on cloud nine. And right now, I just want to go on the human experience section.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to ask you, let's see,
Yeah.
for you personally, what makes life worth living?
For me, it's about I need to be happy, stress-free, and creative.
Okay.
I'm a Sagittarian. I'm very creative in a lot of different areas, from dancing to sports to music. I like to do a little bit of everything. That's my creative outlet. So
Okay.
I have to be creative. I need room to get my creativity going, or else I'm miserable.
Me too.
That's why I do a lot of events, because I like being around people. I like socializing. I like being a people person. I like music. But it all starts with me using that as a creative outlet to express myself.
I agree 100%. I'm involved in a lot of different things. Like, besides this, I also I DJ, and I work in a club, and I play the keyboard, and I like to do arts and crafts and paint. So it's just like that. Being creative is so important for me. So
Yeah.
I completely understand. And what is the biggest risk you have taken?
The biggest risk I've taken is probably trying to do West Coast Weekender here. I mean, it's not an easy event. A lot of money goes into it. A lot of resources, a lot of staff hours. I mean, thank God we got a good crew that, puts in the time, but it's a challenge, So, I mean, you don't know if these things are going to be successful. You start them with the hope that it's going to be successful, but you don't know what's going to happen. And every year, there's a shift every year, whether in terms of how events are marketed, or how things are presented, or what kind of talent you're going to book, or what's the hottest trend, or are you going to go leave the hot trend and just stick to what you're doing?
So many things to look into.
Every year it's different, and the venue that you're at dictates a lot as well.
Very
The
true.
venue that we're at dictates what direction we're going to go in and how much money we're going to spend.
Okay, so next question is, what do you enjoy about adulthood?
About adulthood?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying myself now because I'm living in a beautiful city with great weather.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
but I
that's
do
the
see,
one thing.
but I do see a lot of my friends. I've had a lot of my friends from New York and Chicago and North Carolina and different places that come here and visit a lot. So I think like I see more people now that I'm in San Diego than when I lived in New York.
Wow, because this is the place to be.
It is.
So when you look into the past, what do you miss the most?
Of the past?
Yeah.
I think because of I look at it like one of the reasons I moved to San Diego and California in general was because of the past. I found myself being in situations where everyone it was like being in a time machine, and everybody was just so open-minded about working together and collaborating and doing stuff, and let's make some music and let's do this. Hey man, check this out. Hey man, I'm throwing a party. Come play. So I mean, it's something that back east was lacking.
But now you have it here.
Exactly. That's why I moved here. So as far as adulting, that's to me, this is my adulting. I'm reliving my childhood, my teenage years here in California as a 50-year-old.
That's really cool. And next question: what would you like to be remembered for?
In the end, music that I make. I put a lot of time into my resume, my catalog, my discography. I've got tons of unreleased material, and I tell my wife, man, God forbid if anything happens to me, just keep releasing them.
Just keep releasing it. Yeah.
It'll be like 5 years worth of material, but not.
I love
But
it.
I mean, I want people to remember me for the music I make, and
I'm sure they will. And for everything else that you're doing, I mean, you're an icon. You're a legend.
I try to be me in an environment that is dictated by so many other things that are beyond your control. So I mean, I think being yourself is very important. Whatever the challenges, the obstacles, you got to be yourself.
Be real.
When you're yourself and you're honest with yourself about reality, things go smoother.
Very true. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you practice self-love?
I think self-love for me is I have to spend time doing things I love. So besides, I think you asked me earlier, what do I like to do? Well, besides making music is kind of like when I'm not working in the office, I'm making music. Some people consider it work, but that's not work for me. It's therapy. Sometimes I'm down on myself, and I go make some music, and then
you recharge.
Feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great. I feel like
You're
a new human
energized.
being. So for me,
Beautiful.
I make music. I am a martial arts practitioner, and have been for a few years. Those are kind of like my two outside components. But also spending time with your family, with your loved ones. That's
very important.
That's very important.
Yeah. And what is one thing that you have not done that you really want to do?
Go into outer space.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. What is one thing that you would like to change about the world?
I wish I could put on the Thanos glove and get the Earth back on track, get rid of corporations and all this greed and the all these companies that are just making money off this stuff. If I could just
All right.
and take us back to tranquility and everybody doing well.
Yeah, I love that answer. So I had a few more, but we're running out of time, and I want to end up with the Scarlet letter. So for those of you who don't know, or if it's your first time watching the show or hearing it, I have a black envelope with a red wax seal stamp on it with a random question that you will have to choose.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to pick one of these.
Yeah. Cool. And you gotta open it.
This
and
is
you
the one
gotta.
I got to open.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay. So you're a mad scientist. What scientific experiment would you run if money and ethics weren't an issue? Putting souls into robots, I guess.
All right.
Figuring out how to put a soul
Into a robot.
into an android,
like that movie Her.
Yes.
Okay.
but without the killing.
Okay.
Without the murdering.
All right. Well, now you know, people.
Yeah.
Oscar P wants to
I'm
put
a
souls
fan-
into
I'm
robots.
a fan of science fiction and science in general.
Yeah, me too. Because it's facts, it's the truth, and that's just. Have you ever watched One Strange Rock on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I love
That's a
it.
good show.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview. I really enjoyed.
I can keep this,
Yeah,
right?
of course. You can keep it and do. Yeah, there you go. And I appreciate you spending the time here. I know you have a busy schedule, so and just for answering everything. It's been a great time.
Thanks.
And now we're about to go play the second part of your super awesome Afro House mix. And we'll be back in less than 10 minutes to finalize the interview. So don't go anywhere, people. Hey, people, are you loving this set or what? All right, Oscar, I want to know, do you have any upcoming gigs?
Oh, tons.
Tell me about him.
Tons. Let's see. Let's look at the schedule.
Out of all your 20...
I think coming up, we've got, besides being in production for Weekender Year 5, we have, we just put up the Halloween party that we're doing October 26th. But we also have DJ Kiyoki with the Enter the Tech crew. That's October 12th.
All right.
I mean, we got some big events coming up, and before you know it, it'll be New Year's and we'll be partying again.
I know,
But
right?
there's a lot of stuff, and then we got Chocolate 2-year anniversary, October 17th. It's
You got a lot
there,
going
it's
on.
there.
Yeah.
It's there. I mean, I think I travel out like maybe twice a year. I go out and travel, but I mean, I'm very busy here at home. I mean, I don't have to go out of my way to go out
Yeah,
unless
you
there's
can just
something
go
worth
somewhere.
going out, because I like being home and throwing events as well,
Of course.
and it allows me to be in the studio more.
Yeah. And what does the future hold for Oscar P?
The future for me,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm living it right now.
Are you living the
This
life
is my
of your
this
dreams?
is my future. Am I living the life of my dreams? I might be there 50%.
Okay.
I think there's more I can throw in before I can say it's the life of my dreams. But I mean, I'm having fun with it. I'm
Yeah.
having a good time.
That's good. And do you have any last shout outs or anything that you like your fans to know? Any last words?
Well, we'll give a shout out to Jessica P. We'll give a shout out to Chris Herrera. Shout out to Jay Nav, Eric Medina.
All the homies.
Shout out to Tanya. Shout out to Vin and Mel. Shout out to, who else can we shout out? I mean, we could go all day.
All day.
And to the tech crew, Rufio Ideal. We can keep
Let's
going.
keep going.
Keep
Everyone
going.
in the scene. And lastly, do you have a quote or life motto that you live by?
Have fun.
Have fun.
You only got one.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so true. You gotta live in the present moment, and you gotta keep going. Have the best life that you can.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here. It's been a blast, and I will be uploading the show and the interview on YouTube this weekend,
Cool.
so you can share it with the world.
We can share it up.
Yeah, and thank you for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye.